July 19th, 2015 is a very important day in the very deep AntDude lore. This is the day that I uploaded a YouTube video with Fat Sonic in the thumbnail. So, you know, the rest is history. Sonic ROM Hacks. Hell, you know what? Not even just hacks, but mods and full-on fan games as well from multiple franchises. Hell, Sonic isn't exclusive here. I talk about it all. Covering and spotlighting as many fun and meme-filled, fan-created projects has been a support beam for this channel for over a decade, and that's not gonna stop anytime soon. I just did a video on newer Super Mario Bros. Wii, for crying out loud. I wouldn't be doing this for 10 years plus if I didn't love it, you know? But to celebrate doing this for 10 years, I wanted to do something a little bit different this time. A little bit of a look behind the scenes. Whenever I make those types of videos, I don't actually beat those games to full completion a lot of the time. Usually those episodes have over a dozen or two different projects to try to mention in each one. If I tried to actually beat every single one of them to completion, just to say I did, I would drive myself insane. The blue hedgehog has already dominated most of my life as it is. I got my own set of problems I'm navigating here as a result, okay? Let me live. So, to change things up, why not actually go back and see everything some of these projects are all about? Since I've been doing the whole ROM hacking thing for well over 10 years now, I want to go back and celebrate a little bit. I want to take 10 full classic Sonic ROM hacks and actually beat them to full completion. Traditionally for these videos, I kind of just play these hacks for like 20-30 minutes, I get the general vibe, and then I move on. But no, not today. I want to put hours and hours into every individual product, as if they were like actual games that you spend money on. But, you know, you don't spend money on ROM hacks because like you're supposed to be free. You're supposed to get them all for free. If you spend money on any ROM hacks, that's illegal. And as for how I know just how much time is the right amount of time to put into each game, well, it turns out RetroAchievements.com is the perfect resource. Getting achievements for old school video games, that's already kinda cool on its own. There's gonna be a lot of content on that on AntDude Plus in the future, I guarantee it. But a bunch of ROM hacks are on that website too, with their own dedicated Chivo sets. That's awesome. A reason to play these hacks for more than 20 minutes, hell yeah. Behind the scenes, I've been pretty obsessed with RetroAchievements for a while now. Just popping on an emulator and working towards a bunch of challenges for a ton of older games has been an absolute blast, and being able to do this with hacks on top of that just makes it all the sweeter. And we're gonna do it with no save states, no rewinds, no cheat codes. I'm gonna be playing these hacks in hardcore mode to unlock everything as legitimately as possible and strive for a quote-unquote mastery in each game. How's that sound, huh? Figured there'd be some good challenge in doing that, you know? I was gonna do Sonic 1 Omocho edition here. It did give me a bit of a panic attack all those years ago. Perfect for good content 10 years later, and I did start to work on it, but oh god. Oh, maybe next year. God, I'm not ready, not now. And I can already hear a lot of you asking through your screens right now, but no, Yeth will not be making any appearances after this in the video. You know, no one's been crazy enough to actually make a Chivo set for Yeth yet, so maybe they will one day. I don't know, but if they do, I'll be there. So help me God, I'll be there. But for now, sadly, he's going back in the vault. But hey, if this retro achievement thing is your thing, then go on ahead and jump over to my profile and in the comment section type in gaming, one word, all lowercase. That's what everyone does, and if you do it, you'll win a prize. What? I don't know, but you'll get it. So this challenge is pretty straightforward. We got 10 classic Sonic ROM hacks to go through. We got 4 from Sonic 1, 5 from Sonic 2, and even 1 Sonic 3 hidden in there. There is a whopping total of 261 achievements to go for throughout the entirety of this video for all 10 hacks. There are far too many runs of Green Hill and Emerald Hill, way more than I would like to admit. I am very well versed in these stages now. And lastly, one very tired YouTuber who is now questioning his loyalty to the blue hedgehog, Sonic. So are you ready? Should be fun. I've already gotten all the achievements, so it was stressful, but hopefully for you it's fun. But first, it's ad read time. You should have seen this coming by now. Hey, look at that. I finally got a mattress sponsorship. I'm just a sleepy little guy on my brand new mattress from Titan Mattress. If you've ever done mattress shopping before, then you would know that finding the right mattress can be tough. For years, I've dealt with just mediocre mattresses and rough sleep and kind of just pushed through it, which, hey, you know, not very healthy. So I got their brand new Titan Plus Elite Queen mattress. I've been using it for a few weeks now, and honestly, immediately after I started to sleep a whole lot better. I started to wake up feeling better. It was that instant. Titans have heavy-duty coils and high-quality foam, and they're designed, assembled, and shipped from their factory in Arizona. That's where they make the cheap sweet tea. You know this has got to be good too. My footage of the setup process kind of corrupted, so it's one of those situations where it's sort of in a big box and it's rolled up in wrapping inside, and then you cut the plastic, you let the mattress fold open, and then it inflates right in front of you. It's magic. This whole mattress technology, the way they all roll up now, it'll just never not amaze me. I was just kind of sitting there watching my mattress fill up for a few minutes. That was satisfying. I am really loving my Titan mattress, and I think you will too. If you're looking for something really supportive that'll hold up over time, this is it. Check out TitanMattress.com and get 30% off your order with the code AntDude, or just click the links down below. Thank you so much to Titan for sponsoring today's video, and now, while that me is going to remain asleep, this current me is going to start talking about some video games, alright? Get ready. Yeah, Omochao was gonna be a little too difficult and annoying for me. I figured we go the complete opposite direction. We go to Sonic 1 Easy Mode. I don't think I've actually ever talked about this hack on the channel, so that's kind of exciting. Some of you may remember a little game on the Sega Saturn called Sonic Jam. Not only was it a collection of classic Sonic games with that cute little overworld section, there were brand new difficulty options for those classic Sonic games, yes, including an Easy Mode. While officially that is still locked behind Sonic Jam, most of that has been recreated in this ROM hack. You're looking at a very heavily truncated adventure. There's only one act per zone. The acts that are here, some of them have slightly different level layouts. And the only other thing that's really different from the official version in Sonic Jam is you don't have the spin dash, and that's fine. And also the easy mode final boss takes fewer hits and there's fewer electrical balls, while in this ROM hack it's just the basic final boss that we all know and love, I guess. But whatever, nothing crazy. A fun little take on Sonic 1 if you're like me and have played the original like I don't know, like 100 times at this point. I've played far too much Sonic. But we got 19 different Chivos to go for, and yeah, they're pretty straightforward as well. You get one for beating every single level in the game, so boom, there's 7 right out of the gate. You get one for getting a Chaos Emerald, you get another one for getting all 4 of the obtainable Chaos Emeralds. That's right, only 4, not 6. And that's actually tougher than you might initially think. You only have 4 opportunities to get Chaos Emeralds, so you don't want to mess up there. You get 1 Chivo, be Sonic, be Atomic, for beating the game without dying and with any number of Chaos Emeralds. Not dying in this game, surprisingly enough, very easy. And you get another achievement for beating the game with all 4 Chaos Emeralds. Would you look at that, we've already got more than half out of the way. But then we have the level challenges, and this is what excites me about Retro Achievements as a whole. You really get to take a look at these games in a whole new light, because while it's super easy to breeze through, getting good at it is a totally different thing. Like this very first Green Hill Zone challenge, no riches needed. Beat Green Hill Act 1 under 45 seconds without collecting any rings. Now again, if you've played Green Hill Zone a good 200 dozen times like I have, this is no big deal. You know where the rings are, you just take the bottom path. You gotta be very careful going through the S's and jump over those 5 rings right there. Avoid the temptation to get all of that massive bits of rings after the S ramp. It's no big deal. It did take me 44 seconds to get the challenge done, so you know, I was cutting it close, but hey, I did it. Only took me 10 minutes, but hey, I did it. But it's okay, there's another more challenging achievement for Green Hill Zone, the most sadistic GHZ1 challenge I could come up with. You gotta beat the stage with no rings, no points, no shield, no invincibility, and you can't die. If you do, you gotta hard reset the entire game. Oh god. Dude, I almost forgot that this game even has points. Like, I'm just so used to hearing the jingling sound at the act complete portion. I forgot that I'm actually tallying up points. Like, I'm just so numb to it now. I didn't realize just how many things were giving you points when playing this game. So just don't touch any enemies on top of not touching any rings. Alright, it's annoying, but damn it, I did it. Then we move on to Marble Zone Act 1 with the Get Rich Quick achievement. You gotta get all 135 rings under 1 minute and 40 seconds. That's right, all 135 rings, no room for error. And this one is pretty straightforward too. There are like 2 hidden alcoves in this area. This one that has the 4 item boxes with 10 rings each, as well as the 1-up box. You gotta remember to hit that. But planning the route to get it all done in 1 minute 40, that was a decent challenge too. Nothing too crazy, but you know, it was fine. And then Spring Yard Zone Act 2 made me want to die. Beat the level under 50 seconds without pressing left. Okay, yeah sure, you know, Sonic games are just about going from left to right, no big deal. No, you remove the left button, all hell breaks loose, especially in Spring Yard Zone. Dude, the level starts with the spring that prevents you from progressing. Like, I hate this. Under 50 seconds, this took me 30 minutes to do. I'm not proud of it, but oh my god. The amount of random pits that you can fall down in, with the only way to make it out in one piece is by pressing the left button just a little bit, is insane. And then you gotta factor in those stupid spinning ball enemies that are just there to mess up your day, and no matter how many times I played this game, they're consistently the worst. This was hell. There was one time I got to the end of the stage at like 52 seconds, and I was ready to lose it. And the time I did get it done, on the 50-second mark. I tell you, if I was 1 second off, I don't think this video would be happening. I'll be honest with you. But okay, that's the hardest challenge of the game, right? No! Then you gotta do Labyrinth Zone Act 3 with 13 rings or less and without taking any damage. At first you probably thought, oh, okay, just get hit at the end. Less than 13 rings. No. Nah, that ain't it, chief. Avoiding rings in these very tight hallways underwater with the underwater mechanics, this sucks. Just at the very start of the stage, when you're going down the water slide, there are 3 rings right there, and it's almost impossible to avoid all 3. So boom, there's a ring right off the bat. Oh, you want to take this little shortcut to skip most of the stage? There's an item box there. Oh, what, you think you can just like take it and then take the extra 10 rings and you'll be fine, just don't touch another one? Did you forget that the final Robotnik chase also has rings there? And the fireball enemies? I hate this. Oh, whatever, it's done. We did it too. God, I hate it. Thankfully, when we get to Starlight Zone Act 2, all you have to do is beat it under 35 seconds. I can do that. That ain't that big of a deal. Starlight Zone's super easy. I did beat it at the 35-second mark, so damn, man, they're really testing me here. The only way I was able to actually get it to that time was that when you're going up this one ramp, I did a massive jump and tried to skip as much stuff that could stop my speed as possible. Had to deal with a little bit of fan shenanigans, had to deal with the stupid spike enemy, but by the skin of my butt, I did it. And then we get to Scrap Brain Zone, and all you have to do there is don't take damage. You may think that's gonna be a terrifying option, but it's just a few spikes and a few fire traps and a few exploding guys. It's no big deal. Scrapped Brain Cells is the name of the achievement. That ain't a big deal. We did that too. All that was left was one final challenge. Beat the game without taking damage with all 4 Chaos Emeralds. I think by this point, I was just desensitized. I was taking damage in so many different ways, it took me forever to actually get this one done, but I brought all of my skills together for this one majestical final run, and there we go. Super Sonic Warrior, and with that, we have mastered Sonic Easy Mode. This is gonna be a long video, ain't it? I just wanted to keep the bit going where I play another easy Sonic hack, but I forgot I already talked about this one before, and it's annoying as all hell. Is Sonic's Fun and Easy Adventure? Oh boy. Once I started it up, the memories came rushing towards me like a train running at 1,000,000 miles an hour towards my forehead. This is a hack of Sonic 3 and Knuckles, which you don't see very often, and technologically speaking, it's pretty cool because it incorporates elements from other Sonic games. You got the gems from the special stages in Sonic 1, you got the bouncing floors from Wacky Workbench and CD, the slicers from Sonic 2, the spinning platform of Doom from Sonic 3, the Winged Fortress boss, Mega G-Wolf is here. That's right. It's just all elements that people often consider to be some of the most annoying parts of all the classic Sonic games, all in one nice, tight level. I hate it. The Sega screen's kind of cool though. Like it's got some Sonic 3D Blast kind of tech going on for the Sega stuff, like, hey, sick. It only lasts a couple minutes, and then when you beat the boss, you die anyway, and then the game says, and then Sonic died, LOL, f*** you. Incredible. But the achievements can't be all too bad, I guess. You gotta simply just touch a checkpoint, you gotta get 3 checkpoints without dying, 6 checkpoints without dying. You gotta get to the end and beat the boss while dying less than 5 times, which is pretty easy, honestly. Getting 50 rings, also pretty easy, especially if you find the LOL room. Huh? Who doesn't love a good LOL room, huh? That's kind of funny. It's 8 brain dead achievements and then I mastered it, okay? I can say I mastered Sonic Fun and Easy Adventure. You happy? Are you happy? Let's move on. I'm tired of this. Fuck you. Yeah, baby. Dude, honestly, part of the reason I'm making this video is because I wanted another reason to play Megamix again. Oh, it's so good. If you have not been cultured enough in the Sonic ROM hacking community to understand how good Megamix is, for one, I apologize, but for two, let's talk about it. Sonic Megamix is one of the most iconic hacks of all time. It's one of the earliest examples of a multi-person team that created one project, and that one project completely disassembled the original OG Sonic 1 and injected it with so much new stuff. stuff. And this was all done in 2008, okay? Sonic Unleashed wasn't out yet. You got brand new sprite work, and the themes are like kind of based off of the OG version, so it's a nice coat of paint on that original adventure. There's brand new, really fun layouts that encourage a lot of speed, which is one of the original Sonic ones, you know, not best parts. There's new layouts and themes for the special stages as well. There's music from a variety of Sega games, like including Moonwalker, hell yeah, and 5 playable characters: Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, Shadow, and Mighty, each with their own unique abilities. You just play it for a few minutes, alright? And then you eventually run through Sunny Shore Zone Act 3. You got music from Sunset Hill from Sonic Advance 3, which is incredible. If you're playing as Sonic, you're faster than ever. It's so good. If you're Sonic, you're super fast. You got a double jump, the homing attack, the light speed dash. If you're Shadow, you also got the homing attack and a double jump, but you can even do a speed boost. Like, once again, before Sonic Unleashed, you got a boost ability. I mean, I guess Sonic Rush was already a thing at this point, but you get it, it's still cool. Mighty has the ability to use the shield abilities, including the insta-shield. And if you gather shields while having a shield, you can store them and swap them out whenever you need to. That's kinda cool. Tails, of course, can fly like you would expect him to, but he can also do his tailspin attack, which he barely ever gets to use. And then Knuckles, that's just Knuckles. Like, there's nothing special with Knuckles in the slightest. If anything, this is actually the worst character to play as, because in this version, Megamix 4.0, he crashes Dark Fortress, like, automatically. There's no way to get past it. Like the game just crashes at this spot every single time, so you gotta debug your way through out of it, and then you can continue on. But otherwise, this game is great. And yes, for this set, we're going to be playing version 4.0, aka the Sega CD version. There is a sort of unofficially released beta version 5.0, but we're not going to be talking about that one today. There's also another Chivo set for 3.0, which was a Genesis ROM. Maybe we can cover that one next time. 4.0 is the version I know and love, and damn it, I'm excited to master it. The process is pretty straightforward, but it just entails me playing a whole lot of Sonic Megamix. I gotta beat the game with every single character. And you can't level select and then just jump to the final boss and then bing bang boom, the credits, you got it. No, I gotta do the whole campaign 5 times. That's fine. You know, honestly, this entire time, I didn't even realize Knuckles breaks the game, so you know, I got to learn something new there. Honestly, playing as the other characters is not as fun as Sonic. I mean, that's kind of a given with classic Sonic games. I feel like that's always how it goes, but it's fine enough. Interesting seeing how you try to make Mighty an interesting character before Sonic Mania Plus came around and tried to do the same thing. It's just that when you play as the other characters, it really becomes apparent that a lot of times the level geometry is very faulty. A lot of clipping into walls when you're not really intending to do so, you know? It still happens when you play as Sonic, but definitely not as often. The typical Sonic run, I feel like, is what most people will be doing anyway, and if you do that, is great. And these Chivos, not too bad. You get Chivos for beating every act in particular zones. You get Chivos for beating every boss without dying. That's not that difficult. And then you have the occasional unique challenge, like finding one of every unique power-up box in Sunny Shores 3. It turns out this whole time that level contains the invincibility shield, the fire shield, the electric shield, the bubble shield, the normal shield, and the speed-up shoes. It has all of them. You gotta get all of them. Not too bad. You got to explore one of the best stages in the game. You gotta beat Misty Maze Zone Act 2 with at least 120 rings. That ain't too bad. Reach the boss in Starry Night Zone Act 3 under 45 seconds. Also not too bad. That level is very, very short. And for those, it's nothing that a trip to the level select screen can't make a breeze. You can't do that to unlock the actual beating the campaign Chivos, but for this, no problem. And all you gotta focus on is there's one act in each zone that has a speedrun challenge. With a sped up Sonic, that's no big deal. You gotta finish an act with 9 minutes and 59 seconds on the clock. That's weird, but okay. Complete a single act without ever pressing left or right, which, hey, with Knuckles, not a problem. Finally, something he's useful at. You gotta complete an act using the classic control scheme, which means no extra moves for Sonic. You can enable the extended camera, which honestly makes the game so much easier to see what's coming in front of you, but it's just kind of abnormal if you're used to 4x3 Sonic games. And if you're sadistic, you can turn on the spike bug, where if you get hit by a spike and then your fallen back body falls onto another spike, you die. It's annoying, normally it's disabled, but here, just gotta beat an act with that menu option on, that's no big deal. Until I still died by it anyway, jeez, I swear to God. And then, okay, I totally forgot about this. Within the menus of this game is also the entirety of the original Sonic 1. I totally, you know, I play Megamix so often and never really touch the options menu. I didn't realize that original mode is just the actual original Sonic game, but you can play with the sped up Sonic, so that's cool. That's a new way to spice up this adventure that I've played like 1,000 times, Jesus Christ. There's also unused levels within the level select menu. Sunny Shores, Dark Fortress, and City Outskirts all have an Act 4 that you can only access within the level select menu. That's kind of cool. There's even a test zone with some of the most annoying level design in the entire game. Oh yeah, and don't forget to get the Chaos Emeralds in both modes, and with that, you've done basically every single challenge in Sonic Megamix. The only thing left to do now, access the sound test menu and the level select menu, and we are good. Sonic Megamix is mastered. Oh my god, it's good. It's a lot of good Sonic, but god, it's so much Sonic. I need something to calm me down after this much raw Sonic gameplay, you know? You know what? Why the hell not? This counts. This is a Sonic ROM hack. All this stuff right here, this is done in a Genesis ROM. I don't understand it, but damn it, here we are. I did play Big's Fishing Derby for a ROM hack video years ago, but I never got to actually complete the arcade mode, and it turns out there's a lot more to this than I thought. Like, it goes on for quite a while. It's not like a massive campaign or anything like that, but there's like 20 plus levels, and each one is a unique theme. You got stages from Sonic 1, 2, 3. Advanced stuff shows up. There's boss battles, and they're annoying as hell. The story is quite simplistic. You play as Big, Froggy does something stupid once again, and now you gotta catch him in every possible location known to mankind and avoid the enemy robot fish at the same time. Every stage is exactly the same. There are 4 layers of fish, Froggy's at the bottom, you gotta try to get Froggy, but chances are you're gonna get a fish instead, but hey, if you get a fish and bring it back to the surface, you may get a power-up, and that may or may not make your quest to get Froggy and all of the time stones all the easier. You see, that's how this all works. It's not the Chaos Emeralds, it's the time stones. That's how you're able to travel to all these different locations. This is lore accurate, okay? As a result of all the simplicity, the Chivo list is pretty straightforward. Most of them are based on progression. You just gotta get Froggy a bunch of times, you gotta beat Robotnik a bunch of times, you beat arcade mode, easy peasy. You wanna get 100 rings in arcade mode? That's no problem. You wanna collect 3 lives in a single arcade run? That's not too difficult either. Rescue Froggy in a boss fight without destroying the big fish? Once again, stock up on the right items? No problem, because yes, you do wanna destroy the big fish for another Chivo, beating arcade mode losing only 3 lives or less. I want this stupid robot fish to burn in hell. The fish is so fast and your line is so slow, and the amount of times the big fish has Froggy and then just stalls on the bottom teasing you, it feels like it's random, and then you still mix it up anyway because I still can't make it up in time. Like, I hate this, I hate it so much. I want to say close to an hour it took me to do this stupid mode, because an arcade run is about like 15 to 20 minutes or so, but making sure you don't die, I spent so much time just chilling out, trying to make sure I got items to secure myself for the victory for the boss encounters, and I still kept failing. But alas, the Big's Fishing Derby gods were finally in my favor, and we got that achievement done. You do 1 run of time attack mode, that is super simple, and with that, I've mastered Big's Fishing Derby. I'm ready to fight in competitions for this game now. I still don't know how this is functional. This is exactly what it sounds like. It is Sonic the Hedgehog 2, but you play as Mega Man X, and damn it, it actually kind of plays like Mega Man X. I've been playing a lot of actual Mega Man X lately, and this does feel a little bit tighter than the source games. It doesn't really feel like a proper port, but the fact that we're talking about X in Sonic 2 at all is mind-boggling. Like, when you start the game up, there's a level select screen like in Mega Man X. You can do these levels in any order that you want. You do still want to start in Emerald Hill Zone though, because that's where you get the dash power-up, and you really want that, because otherwise, oh my god, this game is really slow. You want to play Sonic 2 but not go fast? Oh god, we'll get to that. The stages even contain hidden heart tanks and armor upgrades, and you really gotta go out of your way to find them. This is wild. You beat the bosses, you get power-ups as a result. It's Mega Man X, alright. I don't really care to use the power-ups, honestly. The game is not that complicated to even need other power-ups, but you know what? The fact that they're here, that's incredible. And besides, I'm so Sonic 2 pilled, like the idea of doing any of these stages out of order and I'm still gonna complete the game, like that just seems like sacrilege to me. I gotta do them in order. Emerald Hill, then Chemical Plant, Aquatic Ruin, Casino Night, like I have to do them in order. My mind will not allow me to do anything else. Most of my experience with this ROM hack was just the first couple levels just to see that it does in fact work, but now that I've beaten this game multiple times, sure enough, you can play the entirety of Sonic 2 Sand Special Stages with Mega Man X. Apparently Sky Chase is known to crash the game if you do too much random shooting while the turtle robots are on screen, and that really sucks because considering this is the very near end of the game, I wasn't going to take my chances. I mean, I did pretty good, I didn't crash the game once, but damn, at this point I'm making it a pacifist run. I'm not doing this all over again. It especially sucks because one of the achievements is to get 10,000 points from a single enemy in this zone. All you gotta do is take out a bunch of enemies in order without getting hit, but that can't include the turtle robots, and I did it, no problem, but apparently it can crash, so Be careful. But sure, the Chivo list, it's pretty straightforward. You gotta beat the game, of course, find and acquire all of the different body upgrades. That's pretty standard as well, though again, they are pretty hidden. You really gotta go out of your way for some of these, and luckily for someone like me, and I'm assuming a lot of you, you know a lot of these level designs like the back of your hand, so not a problem. It just takes a whole lot of extra time. 4 levels have body upgrades, all 8 levels in one of the zones have a heart tank. Good luck finding those, especially the one in Oil Ocean Zone, because it's like way out of the way. Like, this took a while. You gotta beat all the bosses without getting hit, which is not too big of a deal, but the Wing Fortress boss, once again, is a giant pain in the ass. You gotta beat Metropolis Zone before clearing or getting upgrades or heart containers from any other zone, which means just, hey, start your run with Metropolis Zone. Once again, it's sacrilege to make that the very first level of the game, but okay. In Wing Fortress Zone, you gotta reach the higher route from the start of the stage. That's kinda cool. I didn't know you could do this, but hey, you got a wall jump, you know? Why not make a little challenge out of it? Beat any boss without pressing the jump button or getting hit. Oh god. Trying to discover which boss was the right one to go for and what weapon to do it with was a pain in the ass. It turns out, Chemical Plant with the weapon you get from Mystic Cave Zone is the right option. Just be sure to hope and pray when Robotnik goes over you that you don't touch the stupid bottom of his ship and take damage, and then you'll be golden there too. And then, and then the game just decided to be mean, and I had to play the game through way more times than I wanted to. You gotta beat the entire game without dying, inherently. Kinda stressful. You gotta beat the game with no heart tanks or upgrades, but you are allowed the boot upgrades so you can dash. That's kinda fine too, no problem there. The issue I had was finish the entire game without using a special weapon. And that's because I'm just an impatient little guy. Every time you beat a zone and get a new power-up, you start the next level with that power-up already active. As long as you don't press the shoot button immediately, you'll be golden. But hey, it turns out I have twitchy fingers and I just sometimes do that, and that ruins an entire run. If you press the shoot button once while that upgrade is active, that's it, your entire run is dead, idiot. I played through basically this entire game like 6 or 7 times, and I can't do it anymore. I mastered it though, so that's kind of cool. I wonder if there's going to be any additional quirky ways to play through Sonic 2 later on in this video. Oh hey, wow! Yoshi in Sonic the Hedgehog 2. There's another one that I've talked about in the past, and once again, I still can't believe this is real. It sounds insane unless you played it for yourself, but if you've played Yoshi's Island and then you play this, Yoshi does feel kinda perfect. I don't understand. You carry the little babies on your back, every badnik that you consume turns into an egg, and then you can use the typical egg radar to shoot them off at enemies. It's Yoshi's Island. The first 2 zones even have hidden red rings and floating flowers. Like, oh my god. I guess technically this entire time, this has always been released as a demo. There's only those hidden items in those first 2 zones. The rest of the game, you just play like a typical Sonic game and get to the end, but you're Yoshi instead. It's almost a shame that there's not more flowers and red rings in these stages, but after doing these achievements, I think I've had my fill. Because like, man, there's fuzzies in this game, and it still does the crazy, wacky visual effects that you would expect out of the fuzzies, but now it's on the Sega Genesis, and oh my god, I can't believe they got this to work. So of course, okay, you gotta beat the game, you gotta beat every stage, no problemo, and then you gotta get the Chaos Emeralds. That's interesting. So unlike Mega Man X, the special stages are here. I wonder what they're like. Oh yeah, it's the special stages from Sonic Advance 3 on the Genesis. This is crazy. Oh guys, no, watch out. Yoshi got all the Chaos Emeralds. This is a damn near joyous way to experience this game. I'm a massive Nintendo fanboy, of course, what do you expect out of me? But I have played through all of these classic Sonic games with so many different playable characters over the years, and I think this might be my #1 favorite. So many characters just play like a Sonic character with 1 or 2 new moves, which makes sense for this core gameplay formula, I understand, but the fact that this is properly Yoshi's Island, but Sonic is just mind-blowing. It's just a mind-blowing experience. And if you go over this achievement list, you really start to appreciate everything this hack has to offer, because every single act in this game has a challenge where you have to hit a minimum number of rings and a minimum number of eggs for when you get to the end. It's either 50, 100, or 150 rings. That's not really that big of a deal, just don't get hit. And in most cases, you gotta get 6 eggs as well, so make sure you got a full stack by the end, and unlike Yoshi's Island, there's no infinitely respawning egg blocks, so you gotta be careful and conservative there. But some of these really shined a light on some things about Sonic 2 that I didn't really realize before. Like in Casino Night, the egg limit is reduced to 3. Why is that? Well, there's only a couple opportunities to take in an enemy and take an egg. Most of Casino Night is all level design, you know, you don't even really think about the enemies outside of the guys who have a shield. So it actually made it a bit of an interesting challenge where even though there were no flowers or red rings to collect, I still had to explore every nook and cranny and plan my route accordingly to make sure I got this achievement done. That was fun. Mystic Cave was interesting too because right at the very start you see Knuckles flying above you and you think, oh, that's kind of cute, but then you could just hold him. You could just hold on to him the entire time. This might be my favorite Chivo in the entire hack because you have to finish the stage with 0 eggs while Yoshi is carrying Knuckles, which means Knuckles has to stay hibernating in Yoshi's big old mouth and you can't spit him out for the entire stage. Truly devilish work right here. Every single boss has a unique challenge too. It's not just simply do them without taking damage. You gotta do something fun and interesting. You gotta beat the tank in Emerald Hill while you're being hypnotized, and the last hit must be a throwing egg. For Chemical Plant, you have to continuously hit Robotnik while not staying in the middle area. So you keep jumping and fluttering over onto the side maybe and then aiming an egg that way. Just make sure you're not in the center. In Aquatic Ruin, you can only hit Robotnik while you're standing on top of arrows. In Casino Night, you can't stay on the lower area floor for more than 3 seconds total. In the Hilltop Zone, you can't stay in the same position for more than 5 seconds total, and you also can't take damage. In Mystic Cave, you gotta make sure to hit Robotnik with 6 red eggs, which are harder to come by in Sonic 2, surprise surprise, so you gotta wall bounce all of your eggs and make sure you do that the right amount of times. You gotta stand still in Oil Ocean for 10 seconds in total and not losing 20 rings, so Yoshi gets a nice old sunburn. You gotta beat the Metropolis boss in less than 30 seconds, as well as not losing 30 rings or more. In Wing Fortress, you gotta stay on the stupid moving platforms after the first hit, and that's annoying. You gotta beat Silver Sonic while being hypnotized the entire fight, and you have to beat the giant Death Egg robot without being hypnotized and with 10 or more rings. And you may think to yourself, wait, there are no rings in Death Egg Zone. You're right. You gotta hit him with the correct eggs every single time and get the ring that comes out of them. This was a genuinely fantastic set of achievements. Like, you really had to play this game in different ways every single time. And while there are some annoyances in the Mega Man X hack, like the controls are simply not working every single time you want them to, in this one, it was a blast from start to finish. The final achievement I did was beating the game under 1 hour without losing all of your lives. No problem, I was proud to do that once again, and I have mastered Yoshi and Sonic 2. Great achievement set, great ROM hack. What's next on the agenda? Oh yeah, man. I remember this guy. This is Pana der Hedgehog. It's crazy, I talked about this guy years ago, and you know what, back then, I didn't understand any kind of pun of why he was called Pana, and then people were like, oh, it's because it's like Panasonic. Brilliant, thank you so much. Dude, Pana is such a cool little ROM hack. There's not really much to it, it's really only one stage, but the technical prowess on display, it's remarkable stuff. The animation alone, he just looks so smooth, and then the graphics in the background are gorgeous, and the music is nice. There's a little bit of Knuckles Chaotix going on. You get to the halfway point, you hit the right switch, and boom, now it's an ice level, and it's playing Mega Man music. Like, oh god, it's perfect. But dude, when I say it's short, it is short. If you learn how to speedrun this game, you're looking at sub 2 minutes. Like, there's really not much to it, but it leaves such a strong impression, even if that ball rolling mechanic is a pain in the ass. You know, after spending hours and hours in Sonic 2, it's kind of nice having a breezy playthrough towards a mastery. It only took me 31 minutes to get every single Chivo in this game, but not long at all. You gotta get up to 200 rings, you gotta get up to 6 lives. That takes a little bit of a challenge to do. You also have to get 30,000 points. Not that difficult. I feel like you'll just get that naturally when you're going for the other ones. There's one Chivo for having a shield active at the same time as the speed shoes and the invincibility, that's kind of interesting. Okay, to have all 3 stacked up, but once again, not that difficult. It's not the largest level in the world. It's quick, you're in, you're out. Even the Chivo for beating the game says it best. Thanks for playing. But what, that was it? Yeah, sad to say, yeah. Thank you for your time, slightly angrier purple Sonic with a few extra quills on the back of your head. You weren't here long, but I'll make sure nobody forgets you. Yeah, man, okay. Oh, and then we got that. Okay, beautiful. Yeah, this one I blocked out of my memory. 137E0 action 1 steak. Thank you so much. Oh, Gravy Zone. Oh god, I forgot about most of this. Well, I wanted another short hack, and I guess this will suffice. I managed to get the mastery in like 10 minutes, so, you know, that's something. This is just a modified version of Green Hill Zone, except there are more things that are brown, because it's gravy instead of water, so that's something. And the Chivos are pretty straightforward too, just simply beating the game, getting 70 or more stakes. Yeah, they're not rings, they're stakes, of course. Beat the level in less than 40 seconds. That's very easy to do, actually. Beat the level without getting hit, dying, or grabbing the shield. Odd, but okay. Beat the level without pressing left. Okay, sure. Reach the goalpost without gaining a single point. Oh great, we're doing this again. That's it. There's really nothing to this, but you know, I didn't say there were gonna be 10 challenging hacks, you know? After everything I've gone through and what's left to come, I needed an easy W, all right? What's the final Chivo here? Just try to enter the level select code. This is illegal, you know? Guess I'm going to jail. Oh damn, they made this in 1947. The graphics are impressive. Alright, we all know what's coming last, okay? So let me just have a few more minutes of a good time, please. Thank you. Here we have Knuckles Emerald Hunt. Honestly, give me the more gimmicky stuff, you know? Even the title screen is very similar to Big's Fishing Derby, alright? I've already played through these main Sonic games so many times, going from left to right, and that's about it. Give me more reasons to do not that. Okay? I've already seen enough Emerald Hill Zone in my life, alright? I gotta do something different here for a little bit. This is another one I've talked about in the past, and it remains one of my favorite ROM hacks out there, and being able to finally sit back and complete it from start to finish, doing way more than I have in the past, that opinion of mine has been validated. This is an incredible ROM hack. The premise is very simple, based on Knuckles' gameplay from Sonic Adventure 1 and 2, but more so 1 because the radar can detect any emerald at any given time. You explore levels of Sonic 1 and 2, and yes, you gotta find 3 random floating emeralds. And you're not locked to just Knuckles, you can also play as Tikal. It absolutely spits in the face of the lore and continuity of the Sonic franchise, but damn it, who really cares? So I just wanted to bring that up because I think that's funny. And what's cool is, as you would expect, every single run is different because the emeralds can appear in 3 of a bunch of random different areas of these maps. So like some of the previous hacks that we've mentioned so far, this really tests your knowledge of the Sonic level designs and the things that you can pull off with some of these characters. And a lot of that enjoyment does come from the fact that we're using the SA1 emerald meter, the vastly superior one. If I was only able to see 1 emerald at a time, that would immediately make this hack bad. Actually, I really don't think I'd beat this game before. I know I played a bunch of levels and really loved it, but I didn't realize that once you beat all the levels from Sonic 2, then boom, yeah, the Sonic 1 levels show up. So you get to do the same thing in stages like Marble and Spring Yard, and because those levels were already slower than the typical Sonic gameplay that you would come to expect, they lend themselves to exploration more than I thought they were going to. They were fun as well. And a beautiful little surprise, once you beat every level, you unlock one final challenge. Hidden Palace Zone. Makes all the sense in the world. I always love seeing Hidden Palace in a ROM hack because even though it did get an official version in the mobile port of Sonic 2, because the original release was unfinished, every time it shows up in a fan project, it's always slightly different. So in my mind, Hidden Palace has always been this magical anomaly. And now, with 5 Emerald Shards to collect, I get to explore a whole new one. This is awesome. Shout out to the options menu too, of all things, because you can customize the song in every single stage. And there's way more than just the Sonic Genesis music. For Hidden Palace, I opted for a 16-bit version of Diamond in the Sky from Sonic R. Genuinely one of my favorite tracks in the entire franchise, and hearing it for this stage, oh, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. Thankfully, I love this hack to death, so this is never going to be a challenge for me, and yeah, the Chivos, pretty straightforward. You gotta get an A rank in every single zone, which really just comes down to hoping that the RNG gods are in your favor, because they're all time-based. So yeah, some stages you gotta replay, but once again, because the emeralds are in different spots, kept things fresh. But just when you think you're done, there are 3 final Chivos. You gotta activate sandwich mode, so instead of emeralds, you're getting floating sandwiches. Haha. I mean, hell, I'm not against it. Who doesn't love a good sandwich from time to time? Wawa Hoagie Fest, am I right? There's a Chivo for getting 1 sandwich, there's a Chivo for getting 3 sandwiches, and then there's a Chivo for getting 5 sandwiches, which yes, the only level you can get 5 in is Hidden Palace Zone, so just play the level again, but make sure it's in sandwich mode, and you're golden. And every time you get a sandwich, the game goes, sandwich? Thank God, otherwise I wouldn't know what I'd be getting. That's Knuckles Emerald Hunt mastered. I love that hack to death, and surely nothing bad could possibly happen from here. Oh God, here we go. Alright, let me just break down for you why I'm in absolute pain right now. You see this? This is how much in-game time the website says it took for me to get every single achievement in this game, okay? That's 11 hours. That may not be the most accurate, because quite frankly, it felt like 1,000. We all know Sonic 2 XL, right? It's the version of Sonic 2 where all the rings were replaced with onion rings, and if you eat too much, uh-oh, Sonic got fat. You really want to know the truth as to why I'm not doing Sonic Omochao Edition in this video? Because I already knew I was doing this, and if I had to do both in one video, I would not be alive today to see this video get uploaded, okay? It would be uploaded after my death, because that would kill me. Much like Sonic when he eats too many damn onion rings because his cholesterol just can't take it, okay? When you have a hack that is such a blatant meme, you never really think about what it takes to actually beat it, you know? What a novel concept that is, to take something that's crazy that you can laugh at for 2 seconds and then go, no, Actually try to beat the game this way, idiot. You jackass. Okay, you want to know a basic rundown of like legitimately how this game works? Every set of 5 rings you get, Sonic goes up a pudge, okay? He gets slightly more pudgier, so we're gonna call that the pudge level. Even if you get hit and your onion rings fly, every interval of 5 that you get, you go up a little bit in weight. The heavier you get, the shorter your jumps are, you eventually no longer get to crouch and spin dash. You can quite literally just soft lock yourself in multiple portions of this game just because you're too damn chunky. The only way to lose weight is to consistently run back and forth, and this I quite frankly don't fully understand because there are some portions I'm running left and right and nothing is happening. You would think like, oh, when you're in Hilltop Zone, there's just the area where you're going back and forth with the spring over and over again. Surely you lose weight in no time. No. I'm assuming it's distance space, and I think it only works better if you're at max speed. There's a science to this, and that part I have not gotten to decipher. It's a miracle I was able to discover the 5 ring thing, okay? And that was very important because while beating all of the stages on their own is already one pit of hell, there's also a set of achievements where you can't surpass more than 1 level of pudge during your runs. If you touch 10 rings and hit pudge level 2, the Chivo gets canceled out and you gotta start the level all over again. This is madness. Honestly, beating the game, not as torturous as you would expect. You just gotta go really, really slowly. There are so many automated parts in this game where they're just throwing rings at your face and you can't stop but gorge yourself, and then boom, uh-oh, Sonic got fat. I stepped foot into Casino Night Zone and went, oh no, this is gonna be bad. How am I gonna avoid all the pinball things where there's a bunch of rings that you can't help but touch? Like, I hate this. Oh god, this sucks. Dude, I had to like pull out some of the maps that you can find online and like pinpoint my location and plan my route. Like I'm doing a horror game run through of the Spencer Mansion and Resident Evil, okay? That's what I'm doing for Oil Ocean Zone. Dude, Mystic Cave sucked as well. There's so much vertical platforming in this stage, and once you get too fat, once again, you can't nail those jumps. Part of me wishes the hacker could have retooled a little bit of the level design to accommodate for your fatness, but I guess that wouldn't really be fair, you know? For all the skinny hedgehogs of the world, I get it. There's already a few item monitors that immediately make you skinny. Heaven forbid you put more of those in the game, you know? Dude, simply getting to Death Egg Zone was like a religious experience for me, because for the beating the campaign Chivos, you can't use level select. And once again, if you get too many rings, you die. How do you get extra lives? You get a bunch of rings. On my first run, which took forever, I got to Metropolis Zone Act 2 and got a game over. Had to start the game all over again. Oh brother, this video was almost canceled. On my second playthrough, I got to Act 2 again with only 1 life again, and I was sweating. I was sweating like a fat guy in a sauna. I needed to pull up online maps just to find out how to get some extra 1-ups, damn it. There was no way I was going through that heartache again. Get it, heartache. It's another pun. I'm doing too many of these, I'm sorry. Man, even Wing Fortress was stressful, alright? I got to the end with 9 minutes and 50 seconds on the clock. If I hit 9:59, I'm pretty sure I would have died, and then I would have had to do it again. No thank you. Death Egg Zone, thankfully, no problem, because once again, no rings. You just gotta beat it. It's like the easiest part of the whole game. So beating the campaign as standard as you can is one of the 3 pillars of challenge here. There are 2 more to deal with. For one, you gotta get all the Chaos Emeralds, and how do you get the Chaos Emeralds, children? You gotta get a bunch of rings and get to a checkpoint. Oh god. And I hate the Sonic 2 special stages, I'm sorry. Not like the half-pipe structure in general, but after the mobile port and Origins where the half-pipe runs really smoothly, this choppy Genesis nonsense, it honestly gives me a headache. So I wasn't gonna be tackling on too many stresses here. I know that it's very possible to get all 7 Chaos Emeralds while staying in Emerald Hill Zone. So that's what I tried to do. I failed, and I leaked over into a few extra levels, but damn it, I did it, no big deal. But then challenge 3, beating every single stage, not passing 1 level of pudge. This sucked so much. Remember that math I talked about where you get pudgier every 5 rings? Well, while I was in the midst of planning out my route on every single stage, I realized what I could do is I can get up to 9 rings and then start to lose some weight. Doesn't matter how much I ran in between getting rings 9 and 10, I had to reduce 1 level of pudge, and then I can get an additional 4, and then I can continue to run again and lose some more pudge. There are multiple parts in this game where there were just half pipes that led to automatic rings, so I had to spend so much time running back and forth after getting 4, not 5 rings, only for stupid Tails, who you can't disable, to get a ring anyway, and somehow that makes Sonic fat too? All of these achievements, you have to play with Sonic in Tails mode. You can't play as just Sonic, heaven forbid. That's why it took me 11 hours, okay? I'm sure a good chunk of that time was spent on the pause menu because once again, I was planning my routes like a psychopath, but I did it. I got all the Chivos. I beat every single Sonic 2 level as slowly as possible. And at the time of this video, it looks like I am only the 13th person who was courageous enough to get every single Chivo in this game. Don't be like me. But hey, I guess all that pain and torment was worth it. Because now I have 10 shiny square-shaped PNGs with a gold border around them on my RetroAchievements.com profile. Yay, man. And with that, the challenge is completed. I have 10 ROM hacks with a nice mastery label over on my profile, and was it fun? Oh, God. But I am really digging this whole retro achievement thing. If you want to see more Retro Achievo content, you can go on over to AntDude Plus. I'm going to be starting a quest to get a mastery for every single Kirby game that there is, including a lot of other classic Nintendo games, so if you want more of that content, jump on over there, and you'll like it. I will return to Sonic ROM hacks in the future, of course, but until then, I feel like if I hear Emerald Hill Zone one more time, I'm going to scream. So, if you excuse me, I'm going to play Sonic 2 and Sonic Origins on my Switch, because I really feel inspired to do so after all this other Sonic gameplay.